Hey everyone, I'm Matt. Welcome to my shop. I know my last few videos have been motorcycle content, and well, I got another motorcycle project for today. I've been tinkering on this Suzuki V-strom for a little while now, and I have one last major project I want to accomplish on it before I decide to take it on any adventure type trips. And that is a skid plate to protect the underside, all the components and everything here on the bike. Now, I've installed this Delkovich exhaust. My last video, I tucked this crossover pipe up and gained myself an extra inch or two of ground clearance. But, you know, all this stuff out here that's exposed, I already know that I'm going to bash it on some rocks and cause some damage if I don't protect it. This oil filter, the head pipe, exhaust, case sides, all that kind of stuff, that's all in harm's way. So I did look at some of the aftermarket offerings that are available for this bike. Had a few problems. I don't really know what's going to fit around that Delkovich exhaust. I looked specifically at the Givy or Jivy, this brand, however you say that. I looked at that brand's offering as well. I really didn't like the mounting hardware for it. It looked like it's made out of like 22 gauge steel or something. Definitely wouldn't protect it if I dropped the bike on anything. So I just decided to make my own. That's what we're going to do today. Now, I really don't have a complete picture of what I'm going to do here, so I'm not drawing anything up in CAD. Basically, I'm going to do one main plate that kind of follows the contour of the exhaust right here and ends just as the exhaust starts to go back up. I'm going to use this bolt hole in the engine for one mounting point, and then I'm going to use these bar clamps right here connected to my crash bars as the other mounting point. And that ought to be plenty sturdy to to support and to protect all this stuff in the event that I really bash it into something. I'm going to build it out of 3/16 aluminum, and that should be plenty strong. And like I said, I'm going to kind of go with one main plate here, and then I'm going to build some wings and things like that to make it a little bit more streamlined, aerodynamic, give me a little bit more ground clearance, etc. So we're going to start off with the main plate and then just basically build off of that. Let's go ahead and head over here to the CNC table and start cutting. Got it in here fairly tight. There's about 3/8 of an inch of clearance from the skid plate to the exhaust all the way around. I ended up cutting about 5 tabs before I got all the dimensions correct, but I'm pretty happy with the fit right now. All right, we'll fire up the TIG welder, zap those into place, and then start cutting little pieces for the edges. Well, a cardboard box has sacrificed itself for the greater good here. I've kind of been toying with a few different designs here, but I think I like this the best. It's nice and compact, so it really doesn't make the bike any wider. It's tight enough so that I'm really not losing any ground or side clearance. It's far enough out that it protects the case, exhaust, and critical components from rock strikes. But it's open enough that I don't think it's going to cause any temperature issues. But of course I'm going to drill some holes and punch some holes for some ventilation. Well, I used the mirror image tool inside of CAD to mimic the side that I drew up over here on this side. So these are two symmetrical images. I did end up boring an extra hole in this side for the bolt. If I'd have been thinking ahead, I probably would have shifted my hexagon pattern far enough back to line this one up with this hole, but I didn't, so I don't know. If I build another one, I'll probably make that fixed. The sides are just tacked into place for now. I'll fully weld them after I've test fit this and make sure that there's no interference. I'm fairly certain there's not going to be any interference on this side because there's no stuff over here. In fact, it might look a little bit funny being symmetric like this because there's nothing on this side of the engine. The reason for the bend in this tab is that the exhaust pipe goes right through this spot right here. In fact, that's what sets my height and location for my skid plate, is that pipe. So, let's bolt this thing into place. I've installed and removed this thing a few times. It's about a 30-second operation, maybe a minute, so really not too difficult. The lines look really good on this side of the bike. I'm pretty pleased with it. Definitely makes sense for where all the bends and the curves are and everything. And I just can't get it really any tighter to this pipe. I've got about 3/8 of an inch of clearance all the way through here to the pipe. As it heats up, it may expand and move and everything, so I have to have that there. Not quite as pleased on this side of the bike, just because there's a lot of open space here. The skid plate is symmetric, but you know, there's no water pump and hoses and all that kind of stuff on this side of the bike, so it just looks like a lot of open space here. That's probably good for cooling, I guess. If any debris does get in here, it's going to tend to flush out this side right here. So, yeah. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think I'm going to make any more changes to it. So it's time to pull this thing off, fully weld the seams, and then bolt it into place one last time. Okay, that wraps this one up. This is actually going to be the last custom fabricated piece that I intend to do on this V-strom here. Really, it's pretty much the way that I want it now. Hopefully the next video with the V-strom will be me actually out enjoying it somewhere on a trip. So thanks for following along, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.